bit. Well, next up we have Khashayar Mohammadi, Kess. They are a Queen Iranian-born, Toronto-based poet, writer, and translator. Kess is shortlisted for 2021 Austin Clarke Poetry Prize. And I believe that Ellen recently learned about Austin Clarke. 2022's Art Poetry of the Year Award and Prism Magazine's 2023 Open Season Award for Poetry, and their winner of 2021 Vallum Poetry Prize, and the author of 4 poetry chapbooks and 3 translated poetry chapbooks. They have released a full 2-length collection of poetry with Gordon Hill Press. Their full-length collaboration poetry manuscript G is forthcoming. Is it out now?
No.
The Palimpsest is forthcoming. I'm really looking forward to that. Pamenar Press, and his 2023 full collection Daffodils is going to be out by Pamenar Press, hopefully by November, we think. Kess, welcome.
Hello. I have a lot to read, and I'd rather read more and talk less. I'm going to start with the dream poems that are going to come out with Pamenar Press called Daffodils. Grief creates hobbies. Lost friendships start races. School shooters and their side business of alienation. Frozen steaks slapped on the skillet still damp. Pint of Guinness, pie crumbs. I want to wake potatoes out of vodka, cum socks and hybrid fruit. Espresso, sparkling water. Dead daddy dream, new daddy dream. Cultures and their ecologies, am I right? Funny how the 12-hour shift can pull you back into the slums of your mind. Brown boys catching pigeons for fun. Or the streetcar driver behind that layered glass, the Hulk of the way too old held child asleep in a father's arms. When I said this city needs to die, I was just hungry, walking down Jordan Peterson Street, wondering how long the camera's been quiet. But you know, I've always considered surveillance. In my essay about the downfall of celebrity and the multidimensional Kardashian form, I'll be exploring a performative self-involvement you can't recognize. I have no space for humility. Let's manifest destiny ourselves out of poverty. Let's lift ourselves out of poetry and sit in penthouses. Let's steal wine in the name of civil disobedience and sit on the bedbug smeared mattress reading Walden arm in arm until all our friends leave, until everyone and everything moves out. It's funny when you lose in bed and wake up to say, I'm different now. Cherries, popped with cherries, fingers circling the question of where the flame may lick deep. I've attained something in our salty tenderness, tiptoes bubbling like strawberries in champagne glass. Gypsum, mustard, rye, funny how Nordic giants went big. I've been taught the practical uses for concrete and all the glances accumulated at the bas-relief. A sort of gusting smell where dad walks in with a pizza, bumps on the nipple, suck until you see daylight. How boring to know it all erectile dysfunction, or all the imagery leading to the pornograph. Naked in midday, as if where buttons bleed, areolas bruise, as if we're in the business of selling footsteps. My new catchphrase is, hun, that's a war crime. You have that in common, huh? Funny. Now pins and needles, thread by thread, my sleep tapping in its own tempo. Regardless of how much I move forward, daffodils can be found. Windows opened, doors now closed, mostly to vent cigarette smoke and for hugging the sweet corners of the night. We say goodbye motionless, and the more and the more I move on the page, the faster the face dissolves into the crowd. Daffodils organized a protest where I earned my first face for the first time. I keep circling the anus for answers to the guilt of survival. It never leaves the center, not the guilt, the anus. Executions on borrowed time, early morning moon, late day starlight. When you read me, remember I only speak at night. I like my hi-hats peppery and my snare piss-drenched. Behind the closed door, someone's cracking open pistachios and further slotting my words into the night. When you read me, remember that I only speak at night. When you read me, remember that I only speak at night. I'm tired of placing the word grief in the center of every page and slowly building a poem around. Believe it or not, I have nightmares of, well, sitting. Let me tear out the sky, dog-ear it for later. My sweat corroding my underwear as I stare up at the bank tower, stark against the night sky. Some nights, the subway just goes on forever, but I don't know. Not everybody likes their life. Children of empty spaces not filled with advertisement. Glaciers running past faster than daffodils can grow, held hostage in the double shift fugue. Listen, the most beautiful men are here in the commute. You may hear this. You may hear this. You may read this. You may read this. It's easy to speak when there's no one listening. When you hear this, know that I wrote this at 6:29 p.m. When you read this, know that each poem is a riff that the begging hand reaches through. Ballpoint arguments, conforming to the Chicago-style guide. I didn't even hear the gunshots. When I got there, Oedipus was already dead. I broke up, bedeviled by jazz, lights flickering on the pavement, so loud. What a myth. To find a length that fits, palpable, but malleable enough, like how muscles are measured and flex, the angle of marble at the corner of the mouth, sucking weight. What happened there in the brine? Hello, piercing. Hello, halitosis. You know when People are so beautiful, it just ruins your fucking day. I couldn't swim. He just left me behind. And the rest is from a new manuscript called Journal of Behavioral Literature. Venom, but as gesture, a flood mirrored in aroma, sexless gibbon, Iraq. Good job, you've now queered gun violence, but who has a car? Who has a kid in warhead withdrawal so nuclear sour? Ozempic ads on soccer fields, his country boy curls warm South Ontario wine. Things will get better is a sieve of varied mesh, is for the plaster bust that can survive the fall. How cities shape us like decorative salt. When to write is to write from certain impeachment. And speech again on military time, on armistice, on impulse, on summary, on pure genre. To have a word subsist in itself, to run away, redeeming dollar store Isaacs, and to crawl to brandishing sharp material. To throw roses at the feet of genocide, to wait a century for Salon to slip into its robes, not so much a rejection, but a jihad of voices. Duchamp, cannibal, O'Keeffe, cannibal. And the last one. At dusk, sucked dry of sap, bitter fruit in the art gallery. Nothing but the childhood house sounds like laughter that pounding, and now Canada, this corner store dwelling, in-mouth breathing, sober, backstroke the length of laundry. Look, Mom, I colored this silence, where every orient is promised by the end. A house, and then a window. Poetry is inhabiting. Someone has said this. Someone must have. Thank you.
Thanks. It's okay. You're taking a break now for 10 minutes, so please, stick around 10 minutes and you can go outside that way and all that. And then we'll return, we'll have Julia, Rose Lewis, and then we'll finish with Ellen reading again.
All right.
Yay!